Okay, good morning, sixth graders that are my remote learners. If you need a little help with this little lab that we're going to do, the paper's attached. Remember that you can write the answers on paper if you need to. Please put your name on it. If it's just a blank sheet of paper, maybe you could write the title of the lab. So if you send it to me, I know what which one you're doing. So the materials are some sandstone, some quartzite, and a piece of granite. A hand lens is always helpful, some index cards, and then maybe some colored pencils or something that if you were going to be drawing these rocks with. As always, read the directions. The rock cycle is a series of processes occurring both on and below Earth's surface that slowly change one type of rock into another. In this activity, you will hypothesize about how rocks are related and how they have formed. Use the hand lens. Now, if you don't have a hand lens, don't say I didn't do it because I don't have a hand lens. There are a lot of times cell phones have magnifiers on them. I just have to find mine. Okay, you can use a on your phone if you want. And once again, if you don't have a cell phone with a magnifier, just your regular eyes will do. If you don't have these samples of rocks and you can't zoom in on the computer looking at them, then Google them online and they'll show you examples of these. It says use the hand lens to observe each of the rocks. Note how the rocks are the same and maybe how they're different. Also study the texture of each rock cycle. I'm going to highlight that word because we spent a lot of time talking about fine and coarse crystals. So don't say rough or things that you might just come up with. Remember that texture refers to the size, shape, and arrangement of the mineral grains in a rock. Use the colored pencils to draw a detailed sketch of each rock on an index card. If you don't have an index card, please don't say I can't do this because I don't have an index card. You can do 3 sheets of paper. You can do it on notebook paper. You can flip over this worksheet and do them on the back here. So I'm just going to set my rocks here and just sort of sketch them out a little bit. And like so. So then maybe I might get some colored pencils, or this one seems to have some pink in it, and it has, and I don't have my colored pencils here, so you do, I know, at home, and it has some black dots, and this might be maybe a light of this color. I'm just going to go real light. It's all one. And then maybe whiter or brighter. So you're just going to finish that now. It says, label each sketch with the name of the rock. So I am going to name one of them. One of them should be obvious, or actually 2 should be obvious. So the first, I'm going to name this quartzite. Once again, if you don't have the samples, just redraw them from pictures online. Under the rock name, identify each rock as metamorphic, igneous, or sedimentary. You have one of each, so I'm going to tell you that quartzite is the metamorphic rock. Now, it says arrange the index cards in order to hypothesize the sequence in which the 3 rocks might have formed. Now, if I'm recalling one of the papers on the rock cycle, it seems to start with magma. And so I'm going to maybe assume that this one might come first, and I would do just 1, 2, or 3, or however you might think that is. Use your sequence. You're going to use your sequence to answer the questions below. Use your sequence to hypothesize, so you're going to, how these rocks might have formed. So you can't write I don't know because it's asking you to hypothesize about how the rocks have formed. Now it says these rocks, so I would expect to see 3 different types of rocks, each one of these, how they formed, and then can there be another sequence that explain? So you're going to say either yes or no and then explain your answer. So you'll have a yes or no here, and then you'll have an explanation of why you said that. So you can see why I might have 2 points here. And then I don't really like this question because it just says how each of these rocks might have formed. I would like to see maybe into each other, maybe how they blended. I'll give you credit for just rock 1, 2, and 3. I have to because I'm a direction reader. So just get this done and we'll be good to go. Tomorrow it's just reading. Thank you. Have a good day. No, that's